Now, once children return to school, pharmacists see a huge increase in the number of parents complaining with children with head lice, worms, colds and flu. Well, never fear, because pharmacist Aisling Reast joins us now with advice on what to look out for and how ideally to avoid it. Aisling, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sinead.
Is it just one of those things that it's going to happen? Your kid's going to get something, or can you avoid it?
Well, there are some steps you can take. I mean, the reality is about 10% of children will have a head lice at any one time, and up to 40% of children under 10 will have worms. So
40%?
Yeah, it's that
Whoa.
epidemic. So when children go back to school and they start interacting with each other and holding hands and doing all the things that the children do, the chances are it's going to come back into the family again, and potentially the whole family can be affected.
OK, so there's nothing you can do to prevent a child acquiring lice?
Well, there's a little bit you can do.
What can you do?
Well, lice are spread by head-to-head contact, so that's why young children get them, because they hug each other and they whisper little secrets to each other, and that's what causes the lice to go from one head to another. So getting children with long hair to tie their hair back can be a little bit useful. The other thing you can do, I suppose, is watch for the infestation, because the quicker you get it, the easier it is to treat.
Okay.
So we use this kind of motto, which is once a week, take a peek. So once a week, have a look at your child. Use one of these fine tooth combs.
And do you wet the hair down? Is it easier that way?
Well,
okay.
Primarily because if you wet the hair, the lice stop moving. And if you put some conditioner on the hair as well, it'll be much easier to get the comb through as well. And once you've combed it through, particularly paying attention to the back of the neck and behind the ears, wipe it on a white tissue and have a look for the lice, because the live lice are often very difficult to spot on the head because they're a kind of a browny colour, so they tend to match the hair.
Oh, I see.
And it's only if you see live lice that you actually treat them.
Okay.
Don't worry if you see the little nits, which are the eggs that the lice hatch out of. They often have to grow out, so that can be a sign of a very old infection. It's only if you actually see the live little insects on the tissue, then you know you've got an infestation.
So if you see the eggs, lice aren't necessarily going to follow?
No, and often we have parents coming into the pharmacy concerned that their children have live infestations and wanting to treat, but you should never treat unless you actually see a live lice.
Oh, OK. So when it comes to treatment, so say, God forbid, child comes home, they're hopping around the place, what do you do? Well,
there's two routes you can go. One is you can use some of the chemical products, and there's two types of chemical products: insecticides, which kill the lice, or there are new products now available in the market that are a little bit quicker to use as well, and that don't have insecticides in them. So often parents are going for those.
Okay.
If you don't want to use any chemical, though, you can use the wet combing technique, and do that every 3 days until you've had 3 lice-free goes at it, and then you know the lice are gone.
Oh.
And pharmacists will go through that combing technique with parents if they want, or else they'll go through the bottles that they can use.
So plenty of options depending on your inclinations. OK.
That's it.
So you need not suffer with lice, which is good news. We were just joking earlier on. Myself and my brother were traumatised by having to take Pripsin, which is for worms. And
Absolutely.
I said, are there other options? Please don't tell me children still have to take Pripsin. And you said, no, there are other options.
I mean, fortunately, there are other options on the market. Now, they're only used for older children and for people who aren't on certain medications or pregnant, so they're not for everybody. But things like Vermox, which is now available over the counter, is a good option, and your pharmacist can give that to you as well.
And actually, what should people be... What are the first signs of worms? How would you know if your child had worms?
Well, primarily what happens is the child gets an itchy bum.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the worms come out of the back passage at night time. So children particularly complaining of itchy bums at night or having disturbed sleep, have a little look at their back passage about 2 hours after they've gone to sleep, and if you see any worms, then you know that's what they have. Thread worms essentially look like little pieces of thread. They're little white worms, and they're about the size of a staple. So if your child has them, you do need to treat them, and you need to treat the whole family, because if one person has it in the family, there's a 75% chance that other people in the family have it.
Oh, wow, OK.
And it spreads quite quickly. And how it spreads basically is children will scratch their backsides from the itch.
Oh, I see.
And then the hands will eventually go back in the mouth, and so the cycle continues.
Oh, I see. So one person has it, whole family gets treated.
Exactly. So good hygiene is really the key here as well. So making sure the children have short nails, that they wash their hands very regularly throughout the day, particularly after going to the toilet or before eating. It's all the stuff we used to be told when we were kids. It just shows how important it is. And making sure that people don't share towels throughout the family if possible. And if you can, when you're putting children to bed at night, put them in pyjamas, or little girls if they want to wear night dresses, with a pair of pants, because it just means if they're scratching themselves at night, they're scratching through material rather than directly onto the skin, and less likely for the infection to
Actually, very quickly, colds and flus, is it something we can actually prevent or just manage when it happens?
Well, I suppose last year when the swine flu epidemic came out, we learned that there is a certain amount that we can do to prevent it.
Good hygiene again.
Absolutely. Good hygiene, giving your children tissues going to school rather than hankies, a little bottle of alcoholic hand wash on the desk, all of those things will help reduce the risk. OK, Aisling, thank you very much for that advice, and I'm so glad people still don't have to take Pripsin. Aisling, thank you very much. Now we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, though. We'll have loads of fashion in a few minutes' time. See you then.
Back to